It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
And then
Colin Jost just did something so outrageous, it's got Meghan Markle's PR team threatening to send him to a re-education camp for comedians. We're talking about the man, the myth, the Weekend Update legend, who seemingly ignited an inferno of fury with just 3 little words about yacht girl photos. And now, whispers say, Meghan's publicists are having more meltdowns than a gelato stand in August.
I've convinced you to leave the royal family. Like, I'm out. I don't need you guys. Which is crazy, because don't you just get free money?
It was suggested that the then Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
Nasty, and says he feels sorry for Prince Harry because his wife is a lot to deal with.
So there's Colin, minding his own business, probably just trying to squeeze out a laugh or two, right? You know, the usual late night shenanigans. But apparently that one seemingly innocent joke, that mere flicker of a grin from Jost, it wasn't just a joke to Meghan. Oh no. Rumors say it was a strategic airstrike on her carefully constructed narrative. We're talking about a woman who has spent years meticulously curating an image, airbrushing her past like a Kardashian on Instagram. And then, bam, Colin Jost pulls out the digital equivalent of that crumpled, decade-old photo your aunt pulls out at a family reunion. The one where she says, "Remember this? You were so different then." Yeah, that kind of different. And this wasn't just any old photo. This was the legendary Yacht photo, the one that for years has been floating around the internet like a persistent dandelion seed, refusing to be truly blown away.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
No, I refuse. I'm sick of it.
You'd think by now, with all the PR wizardry at her disposal, that picture would be in the digital equivalent of a black hole, never to be seen again. Clearly, someone forgot to send Colin the memo. Now, here's where the plot thickens faster than gravy at Thanksgiving. This particular photo, which some say is less grainy and more witness protection program, allegedly shows a woman who bears an uncanny resemblance to Meghan, living it up on a luxury yacht. We're talking champagne flutes, designer swimwear, and a whole lot of wealthy gentlemen who probably have their own private islands. It's like a scene straight out of a reality show that got canceled because it was just too real for prime time. And the timing was exquisite.
Reminder, Prince Harry married a talentless Soho house, alleged, named Meghan Markle. And I've seen this before, but I have to admit.
It dropped online faster than a lead balloon after Jost's little quip. Suddenly, everyone with a smartphone became a digital detective. TikTok sleuths were zooming in on earrings, analyzing the angle of the sun, probably even trying to decipher the thread count of the yacht's towels. It was like a global game of, is it her or isn't it? And while nobody's actually gotten a DNA sample from the woman in the photo, though some internet detectives are probably still trying, the vibe was undeniable. It wasn't just a picture, it was a ghost from her past, a specter rising from the deep, dragging receipts with it. And honey, these weren't just any receipts. These were the kind that make you want to crawl under a rock and never come out. You know, the kind of receipts that make you wish you'd chosen a career in competitive napping instead of public life.
She was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time. There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s. Wow.
You see, Meghan has faced her share of critics before. Too demanding, too dramatic, too American, all those vague accusations that could be easily spun into a narrative of a misunderstood woman bravely fighting the patriarchy. But this wasn't a headline you could dismiss with a carefully crafted statement. This was a meme, a punchline that spread faster than a bad cold in a kindergarten class. And that, my friends, is a whole different ballgame. Because when people start laughing at you instead of arguing with you, the rules change. It's like trying to win a debate when your opponent has already donned a clown nose. You just can't.
You know, I mean, she used to be on
Was
Deal
he
or No
infiltrated?
Deal. Look, she was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament. She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
This kind of widespread mockery, this lighthearted yet utterly brutal public shaming, is way harder to erase than any scandalous headline. It sticks, it lingers, it gets shared with crying, laughing emojis. It implies a certain level of inauthenticity that PR spin just can't gloss over. And that's the silent killer, isn't it? the public's collective side-eye. It's the kind of side-eye that says, honey, we see you and we're not impressed with the performance. And here's the real sizzle that allegedly sent Meghan into a full-blown frenzy. She almost pulled it off. From Hollywood actress to activist duchess, she rebranded herself with such speed and precision, it made corporate marketing teams look like they were still using abacuses. One minute she's blogging about green juice and affirmations, the kind of stuff that makes you feel simultaneously inspired and slightly nauseous. And the next, she's sitting across from Oprah, spilling tea that could fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool about how silenced she was. The transformation was truly impressive, almost too clean. That's what made it powerful, but also what made it so fragile. Because let's be real, you can only scrub so much of your past before people start asking, why did it need scrubbing in the first place? It's like painting over a crack in the wall. You can hide it for a while, but eventually it's going to reappear, and sometimes it brings friends. And Colin's joke, it wasn't just a punch. It was a subtle nudge, a quiet whisper that encouraged people to think, to look, to remember.
The woman who destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her, she's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
And just like that, the fairy tale version of Meghan, the empowered underdog who shattered the royal mold, found herself under intense scrutiny. Was she really plucked from obscurity? Or did she have a meticulously planned roadmap, complete with high-profile connections and behind-the-scenes access that would make a Hollywood agent blush? The word from inside the Sussex bubble is that Meghan didn't just get mad about the joke. She absolutely lost it. We're talking phone calls flying faster than paparazzi drones, frantic damage control attempts, desperate pleas to redirect the narrative, but the story had already mutated. It wasn't just about one photo anymore. It was about everything that photo represented. Because perhaps, just perhaps, Meghan's real talent wasn't acting at all. Whispers suggest it was curating.
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
Building an image so flawless, so aspirational, that people forgot to question its origins. It's like a perfectly wrapped gift. It looks amazing on the outside, but you have no idea what's really inside until you tear away the paper. And that's the thing about PR perfection. All it takes is one tiny crack, one seemingly insignificant photo, one casual joke, and suddenly the whole meticulously constructed facade starts to wobble like a Jell-O mold in an earthquake. And Colin's line, it wasn't a sledgehammer, it was a chisel. Quiet, sharp, precise. The kind of tool that breaks statues, not with a bang, but with a barely perceptible whisper. And that, my friends, is the sound of a carefully constructed myth slowly, painfully unraveling. And somewhere between the memes and the ensuing media frenzy, people started remembering things they weren't supposed to. It wasn't just the yacht photos anymore. It was the weirdly erased timelines, the friendships that vanished into thin air without explanation, the interviews that somehow contradicted themselves from one soundbite to the next. Suddenly, Meghan's carefully crafted origin story, the one about a girl who worked her way up from cable television to marrying a literal prince, was being dissected frame by frame. It was like an unsolved mystery on Netflix, where every detail was scrutinized for hidden clues. The joke may have lit the match, but the internet, bless its relentless heart, poured the gasoline. Photos started popping up from long-ignored blogs and forgotten forums, pictures that looked like they'd been surgically removed from history books. Women in swimsuits, men in suits, glimmering decks, and parties so exclusive, you couldn't even find a guest list if you tried. Except now, people were finding them. Matching timestamps, cross-referencing outfits, connecting dots that seemed to lead to some rather interesting and perhaps uncomfortable places. One thread even claimed that Meghan had attended the same event as Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein, well before she ever met Harry. Now, hold your horses, folks. There's no smoking gun, no court-certified proof. But that didn't matter. The story had momentum now. And worse, it had context. The kind of context that makes you sweat a little, even in an air-conditioned room. What made this different from all the other controversies was that people weren't just looking for gossip this time. They were looking for patterns. Meghan wasn't just being judged for partying on a boat. She was being questioned for pretending it never happened. For deleting parts of her past so aggressively, so thoroughly, that the deletions themselves became suspicious. It's like trying to hide a massive stain on a white carpet by just putting a rug over it. Eventually, someone's gonna trip. And the silence from her camp, that's what really got people talking. Meghan has always been quick to clap back, hasn't she? Lawsuits, strongly worded statements, subtle Instagram captions wrapped in self-help mantras. She knows how to push back. But this time, crickets. Not a peep. Not even a staged paparazzi stroll with a meaningful quote emblazoned on her sweatshirt. Just radio silence, which ironically only made things worse. Because if the photos were fake, why not just say it? If the joke was cruel, why not condemn it? Instead, her team went completely quiet, and that kind of quiet doesn't read like strength, does it? It reads like panic. Or dare I say guilt. The kind of guilt that makes you want to disappear into the witness protection program that the yacht photo was allegedly from. Meanwhile, Colin Jost just went about his week like nothing happened. He didn't apologize, didn't clarify, didn't feed the drama beast. He didn't need to. The joke had already done its job, planting a seed of doubt that blossomed into a full-blown forest fire. He wasn't the story, she was. And every hour that passed, more headlines appeared, more YouTubers dissected the footage, more TikTok detectives matched shadows and body angles. But the scariest part for Meghan wasn't the resurfaced photos or the endless internet noise. It was the shift happening behind the scenes. Hollywood started watching. Not just fans, not just trolls, but brand managers, event coordinators, corporate sponsors. The kind of people who smile sweetly to your face while quietly, almost imperceptibly, removing your name from a short list. Meghan had always walked that precarious tightrope between celebrity and royalty, leveraging both when it suited her. But now, rumors say she was becoming something far worse than controversial. She was becoming unpredictable. And in Hollywood, darling, unpredictable doesn't get you booked, it gets you ghosted. One entertainment insider whispered that her name had been pulled from a major speaking engagement at the last minute, not because anything was proven, but because of what might still come out. That's the brutal truth about reputation, isn't it? It's not about truth, it's about risk. And when your entire brand is built on empowerment and authenticity, a single whisper of inauthenticity can collapse the whole damn thing. Faster than you can say, Oprah interview. Suddenly, Meghan wasn't the inspirational figure who dared to challenge an outdated monarchy. She was a former lifestyle blogger with a suspiciously well-connected past and a disappearing act for every messy detail. And that, my friends, is a tough story to rebrand. No matter how polished your Instagram feed, island executives don't care about your journey when your name starts trending for all the wrong reasons. And lately, Meghan Markle's name hasn't been trending for activism or elegance. It's been trending for suspicion. The glossy CoverGirl sheen is wearing thin, and behind it, people are starting to see the cracks. She built her public image like a luxury brand, aspirational, curated, seemingly unattainable. But now, the packaging is being ripped open, and folks aren't loving what's inside. And it's not just gossip anymore, it's cultural, because once the jokes start, they spread like wildfire. TikToks are parodying her old blog posts, Instagram reels are stitching together her humanitarian speeches with yacht memes, and podcast hosts are treating her rebrand like a case study in modern manipulation. It's no longer about what she did. It's about how much she tried to hide it. That's what people can't look away from. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. It's not the yacht photo. It's the fact that she pretended to walk on water the whole time. Harsh, maybe, but it captured what millions were starting to feel. Meghan didn't get dragged because she had a wild past, plenty of celebrities do. She got dragged because she tried to erase that past, like it never existed, and told the rest of us to see her as the hero of a fairy tale. And that fairy tale, it's officially under review, and let me tell you, the critics are not holding back.